Well, our cars, they have a symphony of parts, each one playing a role to keep our vehicles in tune. So when one or more of them are damaged in a collision, getting them back in sync is vital. But it can be easy to miss exactly what's being used to get your car back into rhythm. Fox 28 reporter Adam Arrow explains.
For years, insurance companies have recommended used or aftermarket parts on cars for repairs. But auto shops say recently insurers have started recommending those parts in areas of your car mechanics say end up costing customers.
For most of us, a car is essential.
It's a family vehicle, got 3 kids.
So James Minter had a simple request when his minivan was in an accident.
It held up very well in the accident, and if it were in another accident, I wanted to make sure it held up equally as well.
But Minter says the accident was only the beginning of a month-long grind.
I think it's ethically very irresponsible.
At 3C Body Shop,
it becomes so complicated.
Owner Bob Juniper says the process of getting your car back to the way it was can sometimes be anything but smooth.
Insurance companies are using a lot of non-original parts. We call them knockoff parts, imitation parts, to make it clear as to what they are.
Juniper says it can make sense to bolt on used parts when replacing things like doors.
It would be very easy to take the 4 bolts out and put a good quality used door on here.
But on something welded, like a quarter panel.
This is an example of what they're attempting to do.
Juniper says there's a problem.
Structurally, it can affect the car, not to mention the value of the car.
An insurance company is not out to jeopardize the safety of its customers. I mean, they have a reputation at stake.
Mary Bonelli is with the Ohio Insurance Institute.
Insurance companies go a long way in trying to explain this process and the use of non-OEM parts.
OEM stands for Original Equipment Manufacturer. On your insurance estimate, this shows up as OEM. The Ohio Department of Insurance says no policy promises to use OEM parts. Instead, they'll use aftermarket parts, which are new, but they're not made by the manufacturer of your car. Or they'll use used parts, meaning that they were bought from a salvage dealer. For instance, on your insurance estimate, used parts show up as things like L, K, Q, meaning like, kind, or quality. Or Q, RP, quality replacement parts.
And I really felt like they were trying to wear me down.
Minter says he went back and forth with the other driver's insurance company for nearly a month, arguing for original parts.
I'm a very stubborn individual, especially when it comes to something as serious as having a vehicle that's safe for my family.
What happens with us is we end up fixing cars twice. I mean, we literally get paid twice.
Juniper says that's because the used welded parts don't fit right.
You can see how wide it is here at the top and how it narrows down to being very tight down here at the bottom.
He says once an insurance adjuster sees that, they'll have the body shop do the repair again. Insurance companies, though, spin that a little differently.
There's always the potential for inefficiencies, but it could be on the part of the insurance company's decision, but it also could be the technician in the repair shop as well.
Minter says he and the other driver's insurance company eventually came to a compromise.
I do have original parts, but they're original used parts.
An okay truce, he says, since the van is a 2007 model.
It's been very frustrating and very inconvenient, but I'm glad it's over.
One thing insurance companies, body shops, and people like Minter agree on: know your rights, know your policy, so you don't get fenced in with repairs you're not happy with by not asking questions.
Now, insurance companies use non-OEM parts because they're less expensive, and they maintain that they are safe. And some companies will not reimburse 100% of your repair costs if OEM parts are used, which can add up since used parts may cost nearly half of what the original ones do. So the bottom line here, ask questions and read the fine print. I'm Adam Arrow for Fox 28 News.